Burkina Faso's $500 million ambulance revolution with India. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories from Africa and around the world. Now let's dive in. A turning point for Burkina Faso. Today marks a historic moment for Burkina Faso. Through a $500 million partnership with India, the country has received 1,000 state-of-the-art ambulances. This is not just a health project, it is an investment in life, in dignity, and in the future of the nation. In Ouagadougou, the capital, sirens now echo through the dusty streets. Traffic clears as sleek white ambulances glide past, brand new, Indian-made, and unlike anything people here have ever seen. These are not hand-down charity vehicles. They are high-tech, fully equipped, built for long rural roads and urgent medical care. Their arrival follows President Ibrahim Traoré's bold $500 million agreement with India, a deal aimed at saving lives, creating jobs, and building the foundations of a stronger economy. But the question remains, how did a landlocked African country secure such a massive investment in healthcare? And will these ambulances become a true lifeline, or will challenges limit their impact? To answer that, we need to look at the man behind the vision, Ibrahim Traoré, a young leader with a different vision. Ibrahim Traoré's path to leadership is unlike many others. Born in 1988, he first trained as a geologist before joining the army. He served with UN peacekeepers in Mali, fought jihadist insurgents in Burkina Faso's north, and saw firsthand how poor healthcare cost lives on the battlefield. By 2022, at just 34 years old, he led a coup that made him the world's youngest head of state. But unlike many leaders who focus only on politics and security, Ibrahim carried something else into power: the memory of soldiers and civilians who had died simply because ambulances never came. This shaped his priorities. Within his first year, he launched free ambulance services, mobile clinics, and new emergency units in hospitals. He wanted to show that leadership meant not only defending the country from attacks, but also protecting the everyday lives of his people. For him, healthcare became a battlefield, and India became a key ally. Why partner with India? The ambulance deal did not happen by chance. Burkina Faso and India already shared a history of cooperation. India had supported agriculture, solar energy, and education projects. It had also supplied affordable medicines and vehicles. In earlier years, India had donated just 10 ambulances. But this time, the partnership expanded into something extraordinary: 1,000 advanced ambulances worth $500 million. These are not ordinary vehicles. Each is equipped with trauma equipment, oxygen systems, GPS tracking, telemedicine tools, and satellite communication. Every ambulance can link directly to a central emergency control room in Ouagadougou, where dispatchers track vehicles and guide paramedics in real time. For India, this deal strengthens trade and influence. For Burkina Faso, it is proof that African nations can secure billion-dollar health investments without waiting for foreign aid or charity. The challenge of deployment. Buying ambulances is one thing. Deploying them across a country of 22 million people is another. Burkina Faso's healthcare system has long been fragile. In the capital, waiting for emergency help could take an hour. In rural areas, it could take a full day, or worse, no help at all. Expectant mothers often walked miles to reach clinics. Road accidents frequently ended in preventable deaths. Outbreaks like Ebola or cholera paralyzed entire regions. And in many villages, what passed for an ambulance was a pickup truck or even a donkey cart. President Traoré had seen it all. He knew the system was collapsing under pressure, and he wanted to change it fast. So, along with the ambulance deal, the government launched a wave of reforms. Roads were repaired, GPS-enabled dispatch systems were installed, mobile networks were expanded, paramedics were trained with Indian support, AI-assisted emergency call centers opened in cities and provinces. The goal? Reduce response times from hours to just minutes. Early successes and setbacks. The rollout wasn't perfect. One ambulance was stuck in mud for days after a flood. Another broke down when its GPS failed. Military checkpoints sometimes slowed vehicles. But communities adapted. Locals helped reroute roads. Mechanics received special training to maintain the imported vehicles. Paramedics learned to operate in conflict zones and improvise during crises. Within just a few months, response times in many areas dropped to under 30 minutes, an extraordinary improvement for a country where delays once cost countless lives. More than just healthcare. This project is not only about saving lives, it is also about creating opportunity. Local companies were hired to build ambulance stations, repair hubs, and storage facilities. Mechanics, drivers, and dispatchers found new jobs. Medical schools launched paramedic training programs. Universities began teaching logistics and fleet management. This $500 million investment is fueling a new sector of the economy. Funded through a mix of government resources, concessional financing, and Indian credit, it's not just an expense, it's a bet that healthcare infrastructure can drive long-term growth. Already, countries like Ethiopia and Ghana are studying Burkina Faso's model. International donors are also paying attention, realizing that health projects can be designed as investments, not just aid. Stories of real change. The numbers are impressive, but the true story lies in individual lives. In Bobo Dioulasso, a young boy named Idrissa fell from a mango tree and broke his leg. Within 20 minutes, an ambulance arrived. He healed quickly, something his grandparents never thought possible in their time. Near the Malian border, a mother named Amina began to bleed heavily after giving birth. Her rural clinic called the new dispatch center. An ambulance reached her in half an hour. Both she and her baby survived. In the capital, a heart attack victim named Salif received CPR from paramedics inside an ambulance as it raced to the hospital. Doctors said his survival was possible only because the ambulance cleared traffic with sirens all the way to the hospital. These are not isolated miracles. They are daily reminders that modern healthcare is finally reaching ordinary Burkinabe families. A gamble on the future. Still, challenges remain. Roads in rural areas remain fragile. Conflict zones sometimes block access. Keeping 1,000 advanced vehicles in service will require constant funding and training. The true test is whether this system can last and expand beyond the first wave of success. But for now, the gamble seems to be working. Across cities and villages, the sound of sirens now carries hope instead of fear. Each ambulance on the road today is a moving promise that whether you live in a bustling city or a remote village, help will come. Not charity, not dependency, but investment in human life. In Burkina Faso, every siren now echoes ambition, resilience, and the simple truth that every second counts. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for such valuable news.